And here we are, back in Space Engineers. Blastertoad here for our Thursday night stream, and thank you for joining me tonight. Well, last week on Saturday, I ended up making it into space. Not quite how I had intended, that's for sure. But we're in space nonetheless. So, here we are, over at Sir Darmok's nice little platform here. And we're gonna get ourselves started so that I can take off and not rely on buddy old pal here to carry me along. So yeah, over there, that's where we came from. That moon right over there. And an explosive launch to space. Again, not quite what I expected or intended, but now we're up here in space, so can't really complain. Ooh, let's not do that. We should probably leave the helmet on. Yeah, that might be a good idea. Okay. Well then, Darmok, where is all your... There's goodies. Okay, we're gonna take some of those. And those. Let's take a bunch of those as well. Does he have thruster components? Nice. Thank you, sir. And small still do. Drop you one of those, drop you one of those. So, first things first. Miner. I need to get myself a miner started. I know Sir Darmok has these nice units here, but I need to get my own unit going. Not gonna be relying on him. Oh, and it looks like I have to set up my display just a little bit nicer. There we go. Now I'll actually be able to see what I'm selecting. Nice, there we go. So I've got all my armor blocks there. So we're also going to need medium cargo containers. Some straight sections and some curvy sections. A connector. Small reactors, gyroscopes, and drill. And it's probably also a good idea to have a cockpit. Let's use this pretty cockpit. I like this one. Okay. So that does have a singular port on the front if I wanted to add a drill off the front. But I don't think that's the route I'm going to take with this one. Are. And then we are also going to need oxygen and decide, do we want a generator or a tank? Let's go for the generator, a little bit more self-sustaining. Now which way should it sit? I'm gonna go with that way. Now, we need some angular blocks there. We need to be able to redirect those up front, like so. And then that will also come into the cargo containers like that. Since this is just going to be dealing with ore, I'm not too concerned about linking up the large connectors to the cock. Let's weld up what we can here then, and we'll go back and grab more once the inventory is a little bit less full. I like keeping designs open in the center like this, and then you've got a channel to put in all your important stuff like gyroscopes and reactors, antennas, remote control blocks. Those can all sit nicely in a center channel. Okay, let's see about displays. Okay. Let's see how that does us. Still need more interior plate. It looks like Sir Darmok is off playing some Grand Theft Auto tonight, so we may not see him. Okay, bulletproof glass. I don't see any bulletproof glass. Huh. Well, does he have no silicon? He does have silicon, quite a bit, so we're gonna go and we're gonna produce some bulletproof glass. Assembler, are you on? You are on. You are set to use the conveyor. Ah, your cargo seems... No, your cargo's not full. Why are you having issues here? Production. Missing items. Silicone wafer. 1.97. Well, you've got 1.97 silicone wafer right there. What happens if I bring that in? Ah, it lies. There we go. And then let's grab some more interior plate. Nope, I'm full up. Okay, let's drop those for now and grab interior plate. Now the thing about being in space is that I can no longer rely on battery-only power. Those thrusters take a bit more than that can sustain, so I will need reactors. Let's see, how do we want to set this up? do like that. Have them nice and close to the nose. Not sure how much sense that makes, but we'll see. I like the aesthetic anyway. Ah, and there's where we need the large steel tube. And more construction components, apparently. Okay. Construction components, there you are, and a large steel tube, there you are. Okay. That's not what I want. I want to go there. Oh, look, Sir Darmok is joining us tonight. He said I could use components, so I hope he's not too upset when he's seeing what I'm doing. I was thinking of putting thrusters inboard there, but I do not think that they will like sitting behind the motors. I think I'll lose the motors. Or the drills. Sorry. So let's modify this tubing just a tad. How am I gonna pipe you up? No, let's worry about that a little later. Okay, I know this is a poor pun, but I had to do it. You know, did you see there, Sir Darmok's posts like, oh no, I can't turn into Sabroid anymore? Apparently they really did get rid of the bugs this patch. Haha! It's horrible, but I couldn't resist. I had to do that. Sorry, guys. Ore detector. We will need one of those. And then antennas are never a bad idea. Neither are remote control blocks. Okay. And then let's put that there. Gonna make those all nice and secure. Motors needed. Antennas needed. 4 antennas. Communication components, I guess. And more motors.
User entered your channel.
There we go.
Hey, there's Darmok.
Alright, 1 second. Let's see.
Let me guess, you have to change mics again.
No, I can hear. Yeah. Oh. Maybe.
There we go. I'm gonna have to build a few more radio components.
Alright, yeah. Take what you need, and it's not like I have a small amount of resources.
Okay. So I'm stealing just enough to build a small miner.
Okay.
And then I'll be making use of your production facilities to just get enough to create a refinery and assembler medbay of my own. And then I'll take off and find a new little home to live at.
Alright. think my headset might be dying.
What leads you to that assumption? Just poor audio, or this?
It's more like right justified. Like everything's coming out more through the right um, speaker, I guess.
Ah, so you've lost, or the volume just isn't balancing like it should, eh?
Yeah. I suppose it's also I don't usually use my headset because I'm mostly on speakers.
There we go. That should get my antenna built.
Come on, damn it.
Energy low.
I need to go grab some energy. Your miner was set up with oxygen, correct? Yes, yes it is.
Yeah, the small ship miner is.
There we go. And my stream health has been very happy today, not telling me it's getting really low quality, so I think I finally got that leveled out. But wait 15 minutes and it'll prove me wrong. Okay, so I no longer need those. What's clicking over there?
On my end?
Yeah.
I do not know. I'll just turn on the listen to my microphone.
Oh, there's your mouse. Maybe it was
Is
just
it really?
keyboard presses.
It might be. I don't. It shouldn't be picking it up. I'll see.
Well, you can always listen to the stream if you're wondering what I'm talking about.
You can hear it.
Pardon?
Only when I mash on it, you should be able to hear it. Is that you might not be able to hear all of what I'm saying.
No, I can hear everything you're saying. At least right now, anyway.
Hmm.
Oh, so I've started planning for implementation of my new game I'm building.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's basically a revival of my old spaceflight game project I was working on,
Yeah.
but this time in the Unreal Engine.
Okay.
So today I opened up Blender and started mapping out a universe for it. Because the maximum size per sector is 20 kilometers.
They have a new sound effect for the drills. The hand
drills? Huh. That wasn't mentioned in the notes.
It actually sounds good now.
Well, before it was just kind of thudding, eh?
Yeah, well, come over here, you might be able to hear it.
One moment. I want to collect these steel plates before they go soaring
Actually,
off into nowhere.
I'm going to be doing some drawing over here anyway, so.
Where are you heading to? The ice? Or oh no, there you are.
Do you hear it?
Oh, sounds like a pneumatic hammer.
Yeah, it sounds a lot nicer.
That is for sure.
But anyway, you were saying?
So the Unreal Engine
Yeah.
has a maximum world size of 20 kilometers.
Okay.
So I'm going to be using a in-game scale of 10 centimeters equals 1 meter for my purposes.
Mm-hmm.
So then each sector will then be an effective 200 kilometer sector. And
Yeah.
my universe is going to be 5 sectors wide by 5 sectors long, square, and then 3 sectors tall.
Okay.
Yeah. So not quite a two-dimensional plane that it's being built on, but not quite a full cubic plane either, or cubic setup either.
Do you know what files can be imported? What file extensions can be imported into Unreal for 3D designs?
I believe I'm going to be working with OBJ for myself anyway. There's a
Okay.
few file formats it looks like it'll handle.
Do you know if it can do STL?
Not familiar with that one. What's that coming out of?
Because I do a lot of work with 3D printing and stuff. STLs are most of the time used for 3D printers.
Ah, you got yourself a 3D printing setup?
Yeah, the school that I'm going to, we have actually a pretty decent one.
Awesome.
And obscene amounts of rolls, and no one except me knows how to use it.
Sweet. Because I've been looking at a project called Tico, which is a delta head printer. So I'm waiting for it to show up in production and a couple people actually get it before I drop the money on it. But it's a delta head printer. I believe the print base was 5 or 6 inches on it, so nothing huge.
Yeah.
But still, it's sub $300.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah. And with like a 1mm or 1.5mm resolution.
That's actually pretty decent for the price.
For the price, yeah, you can't complain.
Yeah, the reason I ask is I'm used to doing 3D design in things like 123D design, mainly used for 3D printing, but it's actually a decent modeling engine. And if it's compatible with, or if Unreal is compatible with it, I'd be able to help you with some modeling.
As long as you don't bring over habits for reinforcing the models.
Well, actually, the printer that I have and the software that we use to print, it does that automatically, so I don't have to input
Oh,
any
you
of
aren't
the
building
structural
any
software.
structural stuff. Okay.
Nope.
Cool.
It's all done just by the software. A horrible piece of software, but that's the only reason that I use it.
With the print or the model format there, how well does it handle textures?
I've seen people like overlay texture on top of it after you get like a default blue texture or something.
Because that would be the only thing I'm concerned about if I'm wanting to use, you know, the, oh, now it's, well, the depth mats, whatever you call them again.
Mm-hmm.
Then if it's able to handle stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Because
know
that's the
you can
only
also...
limitation. Like, I used to really enjoy designing in CAD programs,
Yeah.
but then it had that sort of limitation where it wasn't meant to make things, or to handle multiple layers of textures and that, which, of course, I can end up doing in Unreal anyway. But I like to export my models with the textures, with the animations, rigging all that in one spot.
Yeah, well, I'm just gonna load up my software and see what it actually can be exported as.
Because the other thing is, like, if you're modeling in that, there's probably a import plugin for Blender. so I can always import and re-export the model, do whatever
You could
tweaking needs to
probably.
be done.
Yeah, I'll look into it tomorrow. I have a spare, so I can do, well, really whatever. I'll see if I can get some sort of plugin to change it over to, or get a plugin to Blender.
Now let's see, web browser here, Google's up, Unreal Engine, for import model format.
I tried to find some documentation on it, and they don't. They have how to import stuff, but not the file formats they support.
Okay, you set loads and all that at the beginning. Okay. Yes, that's not providing formats. What 3D file formats does EU4 or UE4 do? Let's see.
Now, if necessary, I'd be able to just kind of cobble together something or figure out how to use Blender properly to the same way that I use my other modeling software.
So FBX, so Frank Bob X-Ray, and OBJ.
That's the only ones that they support?
That's all I'm coming across right now. And I know OBJ has been a fairly recent update.
Yeah.
Like within the last year or two. But if you're doing a, most modeling programs can export as a collada file.
Yeah.
And then I could import that and just re-export it from Blender.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blender's got a funky interface, but once you get used to it, it makes modeling really, really nice. And then some of the tools like Boolean cuts and stuff like that is awesome.
Yeah, I think I might just spend the time, like, a week or two just figuring out Blender.
Well, the other thing is if you're looking for easy-to-use, fast-paced software, Google SketchUp does a very good job for a free program.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not bad. I've grown quite accustomed to 123D design. Actually, I bet because Autodesk is the manufacturer of it, I'd assume you'd be able to import it.
Oh, you just gotta have like a
Maya.
Maya export or something.
It probably would, and then you could export it out to Maya, and then export it from that to an OBJ.
It would have to export to a file that Maya supports.
Yeah.
And if it's a file Maya supports, then somebody's built a plugin for Blender.
Yeah.
Almost guaranteed.
Take a look. So we've got STL. We'll take a look. Supported file formats. Oh, you can import STL files into Blender directly.
Okay. Now, Blender's fairly wide-reaching in what it supports, so I was expecting there had to be some sort of way to do it.
Well, I'm kind of surprised because STLs are usually just used in like 3D printing environments.
A lot of people are using Blender for that now too, though.
Yeah.
You just have to set up your units to be converted to whatever you want your unit to be.
Hmm.
Like you can set in the settings of Blender, I want my 1 unit to equal 1 meter kind of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to start off though by building myself a roadmap of how I want to go about small interim goals to actually get things moving on my project.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like goal 1, player controllable character. Goal 2, player controllable vehicle possessed by character. Just
Yeah.
step by step get it done.
Energy low.
But no, like especially for first iterations for placeholder graphics,
Hmm.
if you want to come up with any space stations with an interior or at least a loading dock or
Hmm.
bars or small cityscapes, that kind of thing. The idea of scale so far I'm looking at is planetary bases, space station bases you can dock at, and a few large ships that you can dock at
Hmm.
for traits. Like, have you ever played Freelancer?
I've watched people play it.
Okay, so Freelancer style dock at a mooring platform outside a planet or dock with a military cargo ship, that kind of deal.
Okay.
Okay, and then for a planet, I want to go a little bit larger scale than what Freelancer had. So
Okay.
you land on a planet, and instead of your planet is a singular either ecosystem or a singular city or port, you've got 3 ports
Yeah.
per planet kind of thing. Like you got 3 major
Okay.
cities for a planet. And then so far the idea I've got for story and faction development is 4 races, mostly humanoid. So you got your original humans, you've got your mechanically augmented humans, so cyborgs, and then you've got your genetically augmented humans, so like gene splicer type characters.
Yeah.
And then an alien race, which is just a devouring race called the Vash.
Interesting.
And then basically, humankind is broken off into whatever the hell they're doing now in the 3 different groups. And they're all fighting within each other. And then once you reach a certain point in the game, there's a unification where you have to band together, settle your differences to fight the onslaught of this just planetary devouring race.
That sounds interesting. Do you have any ideas for like ship-to-ship combat or things like that?
I'm trying to figure out balancing in my head right now for how I
Yeah.
want to set it up. Because I'm thinking of multiple shield types, multiple weapon types.
Hmm.
So say you've got an energy shield and a plasma shield. An energy shield would be very effective against energy-based weapons or plasma-based weapons.
Yeah.
Because it can absorb them or diffuse them. Or disperse them, I should say. And then the plasma shield would be fairly effective against plasma as long as it didn't get overloaded. And very effective against projectile because it would melt the incoming projectiles. So balancing like that, so then you could choose, okay, do I go heavy on the projectile weapons on my ship to defeat plasma shields? Or do I want a couple plasma or laser weapons to try to defeat the energy shield, or defeat the plasma shields? Like, what am I gonna do here for give a little bit of shipbuilding strategy in with it.
Yeah, so like module-based ships then.
Yeah, so the ships will be modular based in what it has for weaponry and equipment, and
Mm-hmm.
then different stations are manned by different people. So, like, if you had a small ship for one person, you'd have pilot controls and basic weaponry
Yeah.
and small cargo area. If you had a two-person ship, someone else could actually join your ship, and that second person could be either science staff so that they can analyze the other player's shield or the such, or they could be a tactical staff where they're manning a turret kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see if we can somehow implement a modifiable exterior. Because what I found with games like Pulsar
Hmm.
is it's fairly entertaining. Like, the story is really short, but that's because it's a really early game. But it like you get 3 ships, you can't change the exterior worth anything.
Hmm.
And you're kind of stuck with that for the next till you die.
Yeah. Well, there'd be a few different sizes of ship,
Hmm.
and then you'd have to have your different models in there. So you've got at least 4 races worth of ships for a 1-man ship, for a 2-man ship, for a 3-man ship,
Yeah.
etc., up to 5 people. And then the other thing would be large carriers for the military organizations, stuff like that. So
Hmm.
hopefully that gives it a bit of diversity there. And then the other thing is the weapons are modular. They'll just attach to bones. I had that working in when I was using the Blender game engine. So I
Hmm.
assume I'm going to be doing the same thing in the Unreal Engine. So if you upgrade a turret, it changes the physical look of the turret.
Okay. Yeah.
Like the turret body, you can purchase a body with a heavier armor rating, so you actually have a beefier looking
Hmm.
turret. And your different guns have different styles, so your ballistic weapon's going to look different from your energy weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can install a torpedo bay that latches either onto a wing or under the belly of the ship, or you can use energy missiles, which would then be like a cannon or something.
Hmm. Hmm.
No, what I'm trying to get straight in my head right now is whether I allow players to gather resources or not.
That could be interesting if you have some sort of like you on, let's say, on a planet or something, you have an area where people can like mine for things or.
Well, I was thinking like the planets would be basically your ship's at port, you're docked there, you can walk around basically the main city square with a
Yeah.
market and a bar and the municipal office, whatever.
Hmm.
And then while you're in space, if you come across an asteroid belt, you can fire off a probe to mine for minerals in the asteroid.
Hmm.
If you're going through a nebula, you may be able to install a ram scoop on your ship to absorb the gas from that nebula.
Hmm.
That's kind of where I was thinking on that.
Okay.
Because then you could be like, okay, the plasma weapons require refined blue gas as a ammo type.
Yeah.
Okay? Or your plasma shield requires refined blue or green gas as a ammo type. So you can go and you can either just purchase gases, or you
Or you
can
could go
install a RAM on your ship and mine gases, sell them to
Hmm.
the folks that
No.
need them and then go buy refined ones at a discounted rate or something like that.
Would you be thinking on having this, say, you have, like, let's say you're in some sort of ship-to-ship combat, would you be at each console, like, oh, like obviously each person would be controlling a separate function, but would they be able to have some sort of 3D view of, like, a chase cam of the ship, or like a turret cam, be able to actually see and shoot, or would they just be clicking fire?
Oh no, you'd be like mouse aim or controller aim for your turret.
Okay.
Joysticks or mouse controls for your ship, that sort of thing. The other thing I'm debating though is, do I do a third-person camera on the ship, or do I force everybody into a first-person view from the seat?
I think it would make sense to have a camera from, like, from the person sitting down, but also a camera from the, like, the right below the turret or something, somewhat how Space Engineers does it.
Well, like the turret, I'm thinking like manned turrets. So
Oh,
you're
so you
sitting
actually
in like
like
a
hop in
ball
them.
in the ship.
Yeah, like, well, like the Millennium Falcon turrets or the giant turrets in on the Galactica.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So
I think
that's
it
the
would
way
be
I was leaning there anyway.
I think it would make them well, if you're going for a sort of a sci-fi but realistic-ish game, it would make the most sense to be in a first-person perspective.
hmm My other thought too is having maybe a couple external cameras that you can bring up in your viewport.
Hmm.
So like I'm not sure, like if you take out someone's ship, there should be a loot drop from that ship.
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether I should use something like a tractor beam mechanic, or whether I should just have, okay, look through your belly camera, line it up with your cargo bay doors, and once it's within a bounding box there, it would absorb into your cargo.
Hmm. At least what I think would be cool is if you have, let's say you defeat a ship, but you don't, it doesn't just like go poof. Like in some games, you can actually like fly some sort of salvage ship to it and like break it down for its resources or things like that.
Yeah, I was thinking of being able to, like, attach it to your current ship and tow it back or something, but
Hmm.
like, there's a lot of mechanics that I'm like, this would be neat, but at what point before I even start making the game, I run into feature creep, where it's like, oh, I want this, and I want this, and I want this.
Yeah.
And that's what happened last time, and then I got very discouraged that this is going to be a one-man, 7-year project.
Yeah.
So I want to keep it within a scope that it's manageable by myself for the most part.
Hmm.
If I knew I had another partner or two that I could depend on, then it would be a whole different thing. I'd be like, okay, let's sit down and say exactly what features we each want in this and what balance we can do.
Yeah, and what you're capable of making yourself.
Yeah. It'll it'll be a long project, but hopefully as fun as when I originally started it last time.
Yeah.
I just don't have try not to let it get out of control this time.
Hmm. Let's move. What does this ship have? For some reason, my welding ship had 23,500 silicon in it.
Hmm. Because this morning before I was going to work, I started worrying myself because I'm like, oh, if you take down somebody's shields and their engines, what if you lined up with their docking connector and you could actually board their ship? And I'm like, that would be awesome, but at one point does it just become so ridiculous that I cannot do it anymore? I can't implement it.
Well, I'll be willing to lend a hand wherever you need help.
Now I gotta get a couple other things figured out before I get too crazy on some of this.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to tomorrow night start on just making a movable character.
Yeah.
And then from there, as long as I got the movable character and I can toggle gravity to affect it and not affect it, then I want to start working on a ship that feels like it's actually flying in space.
Yeah. The hell?
And I'm debating on arcade flight versus Newtonian flight.
Yeah.
Or do I have it toggleable like Space Engineers has the dampers? So if you thrust your engine and you turn your dampers off, you just keep floating, but as soon as you turn them on, it starts slowly drifting to a stop. And I gotta take a closer look at what kind of motion classes are pre-built into the Unreal 4 engine, because the last tutorial I watched on creating a spacecraft, the guy was putting in basically thrust a physics object which would create thrust from a point. So he had like a thrust generating point at his wingtips, and those what would cause the rotation instead of just applying torque to the body of the vehicle.
Okay.
Like I would do in Blender with Python. And I think I'd prefer just apply torque, because then there's not other things that you're trying to control and...
Yeah.
Like, as soon as I drag the wrong line from, oh, this one here was supposed to control the wingtips, but now it's controlling the nose thruster.
Where's my computers?
Oh, I haven't put an emergency reactor on this. That is a mistake. There we go. Oh, man. Okay, whoever's watching the stream, if you know of a good old game called Battle Cruiser Millennium, please let me know if the song currently playing through Space Engineers sounds an awful lot like its main tune that would play while you're in space. Oh, I forgot about that game until I just heard this song right now. Did you ever check that one out, the Battle Cruiser series?
I don't think so.
Okay, so Battle Cruiser was a huge scoped game. So you had control of your character, You couldn't walk around inside a ship,
Yeah.
but what you could do is move to different parts of it in a command menu. So like you could put
Okay.
yourself in the fighter bay and from there launch fighters from your large ship.
Oh, cool. So
Okay.
what was that game called? Sorry?
Battle Cruiser Millennium was the one I played last. But just huge scope of the game. I never did get very far in it because I kept getting myself stranded on planets.
Mm.
But yeah, like you could
Yeah, it
take
looks like an interesting game.
your big ship and buy fighters for it and different weapon sets for it. Then you could take it down, land it on a planet, walk through the city or the village on the planet kind of deal. Like, not a pretty game, and some of the mechanics felt a little rough, but just for the scope of what it was fantastic. Now, basically, the idea with my game is like there's a game called Quintet. I think I was mentioning it on Saturday, where it's just straight multiplayer, and you can load up your ship, get a couple buddies on there. You each control a different part of the ship. So that's where my game idea started, because it's like, okay, that one. You can pitch, you can yaw, you can rotate, but there's no strafing. Okay, so I'm like, okay, that's something I'd like in it. And I'd like a little bit different ship design and maybe a little vaster universe. Like, they've got a few space stations in that, but it's just there as something to make the game look pretty. Like, it's not just empty space. None of the floating objects in space or the satellites are functional. Or playable, I should say. So I wanted to make something with an actual enterable bases in that. And then, as part of Quintet, there's another developer that last year I spent a lot of time, me and him were discussing different ideas. And he's built off of Quintet, basically a SQL database that through a couple commands in Quintet and through a web browser, it turns Quintet into a kind of sandbox RPG where players can vote other players into office for their races, political parties.
Cool.
You can add weapons to your ship. You can install, like if you got a 3-man ship, you can install a tactics center in it. You can install a science center. But to start off with, you just have the pilot seat kind of deal.
That sounds really interesting.
So he did that, but because he doesn't have full access to the game, he doesn't have access to the source.
Yeah.
And the gentleman who's built Quintet has got a couple other projects on the go. I was talking to him directly and did some art assets for him. So he's got a couple other projects on the go that Quintet's basically reached its final stage. If he sees any bugs or that need to be fixed in it, he'll do that, but otherwise not much is being added to Quintet. So when I found out that it's just about at its end of updates, I'm like, hey, there's still a lot I'd like to see in this game. And the other gentleman who built the RPG on top of it had some neat things going on, and a lot of neat ideas when we talked that he just couldn't quite implement. And he was on board with helping me out on my game. I'd made a verbal agreement with him that if I had anything to show by December of this year, that we'd go forward and work on something.
Yeah.
Well, when I did have something to show in the Blender game engine, things just weren't working out for himself.
Yeah.
And then when I made the decision probably 4 months ago or 5 months ago to start trying to switch over to the Unreal Engine, because it would make the multiplayer a lot easier to implement. We found out that the Unreal Engine does not support web databases.
Of course it
Okay,
doesn't.
so I can't talk to a web database. And this other gentleman who is working on that stuff, he is a webmaster. Like, all his experience is in just web programming languages and databases and PHP and that sort of good stuff. So when we ran into that, we kind of said, okay, well, if this is the way you want to take your game and do it in this engine, then I can't help you. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry, but in Blender, where we could work together, it just doesn't support some of the things I really wanted to see in the game. We left our separate ways. So he's left me with a bunch of good ideas, and I'll definitely credit him with inspiration to it, but at this point it's just me that'll be working on everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, he helped out with just the theoretical implementation of stuff. He's like, okay, if you get this value, then you should be able to do this math to get this result, kind of deal. So he was very instrumental in, say, I had a 3D spherical radar display that I built up for my Blender version of the game. So if ships were within your sensor field, their relative position would be taken according to your ship, and then that relative position would be scaled down, and radar blips would be generated in a relative position towards the radar sphere. So he helped out a lot with little things like that. But yeah, I'm hoping Unreal with its C++ backend is a little bit more robust than the Python backend in Blender.
I'm really surprised that Unreal doesn't support any web databases.
Well, you could build your own parser from C++ to PHP to then talk to a database, but C++ has no pre-built, at least when I was looking into it, and I looked into it for about a good week and a half, there's no pre-built parsers I could find to work really nicely with a database, and that was just a little bit beyond my scope. But it does have built-in multiplayer integration. It's got Steam multiplayer integration, so you can do like the join game stuff and that Steam allows. So it should bring a lot of things to the table to make up for what it's missing. I'm thinking I do not have enough reverse thrust. And I have no up and down thrust. Okay, well, let's fix that. But no, like if you want to pitter around in your 3D graphics, and if you want to just throw me some models at any time.
Yeah, sure. I'll see what I can come up with.
I'm going to be more than starving for resources, and the less time I have to spend modeling, the more time I can spend getting used to the Unreal interface and its graphical programming.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing I had implemented that I already had going in Blender that I'm not sure if I want to pull over to the Unreal set up yet or not, is I had it so you could, like, the turret body, the main body of the ship, the engine bay of the ship, and the cockpit were all different parts.
Mm-hmm.
And they just got attached to a reference point on the base of the ship.
Yeah.
So then you could basically build your own vessel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if I want to do that or not. Just because I do want to have ship interiors. And if you're able to mix and match parts, making all the interiors line up.
Oh, that would be an absolute pain.
Yeah. So I'm kind of debating on, do I do that and just when I can either afford to hire an artist, or if I get somebody who's willing to work basically on consignment, like he does some art for me, and then any revenues from the game once it eventually goes live, we split kind of deal, or
Mm-hmm.
royalties or something. Because yeah, it's something that, again, maybe just a little bit outside my scope.
Yeah. I know some people that are, well, from what I've heard, very good at 3D modeling, or modeling and art and stuff that I know through school. I'll see if I can find anybody who's interested.
Well, if anybody's interested in working on a collaborative sci-fi project, and I think the biggest thing is, like, modeling I enjoy, so I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't mind getting some of that done myself. If you know anybody really good at manipulating and creating textures or shaders in game engines,
Mm-hmm.
that's one thing I've never been good at, is programming shaders. Oh, that's boggles my brain.
Energy low.
You building up another refinery?
I'm just gonna leave that there as like where I would put it if I'm going to put another one on. Yeah, no, what I'm doing is just kind of rearranging my stuff to get it the sensitive bits away from where I'm docking ships.
Ah,
And then probably adding
oh, did you see
batteries
the
and stuff.
update notes today?
I haven't read all of them.
Well, the pistons and rotors have a enforceable safety lock.
Yeah, that was the one thing I did see.
It's like that I am super, super excited about. It's like,
It really
EA,
seems
you
like
can actually use pistons now.
it seems like Space Engineers is getting to a point where they're really not adding much. They're more just trying to fix what's already here and then maybe pushing it to a release stage instead of a kind of a play as we build it.
Yeah. And I do believe it's gotten a lot better than when I first started it. Well, I know
Oh,
it's
yeah.
gotten a lot better than when I first started it. But like, even the multiplayer, I keep seeing complaints like, where's the new net code? This is unplayable. It's like, when's the last time you tried? Like, right now, we've been playing for a couple weeks on a very stable, dedicated server. Well,
Now, what
fairly
some
stable,
people-
dedicated server.
what some people's issue could be is that they're not getting a with like a 30-person server or something. They're not getting like any form of stability whatsoever.
True enough, yeah. But the other thing is, like, there's been no big release for, like, netcode, and a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people don't understand that, like, it's little things. It's like how the ships talk to each other, what's going on with the refineries to say that, yes, it is actually refining stuff. And every update, we're getting little patch notes where, like, this was tweaked in the assembler, this was tweaked in the refinery. That's as much netcode as anything else.
Yeah.
It's just less exciting than hearing, oh, everything's been rebuilt from scratch. It's, oh, we're doing small parts here, small parts there, and eventually fixing it all.
Mm. Well, and I don't know how they'd be able to top a Planet's release.
Oh, I think Planets was probably one of their last big ones. But there
Yeah.
were a couple other interesting things in the uh, roadmap. I just can't remember all of them now.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember there were a couple other things they were wanting to work on after the bug fix period, netcode, and that.
Yeah. But and really the nice thing that Keen has done is open it up to the like the modding community. So that we aren't stuck with just vanilla stuff. Let's say I want a billion different types of turrets. I could have that.
Oh,
And
that's
you don't.
one thing we do get to look forward to, though, is once all the bug fixing is done and they've got the multiplayer code to a much more stable point, is all the DirectX 11 blocks.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, what we have the old style cockpit, the gyroscope, the beacon, and the warheads and spotlights, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Everything else is the original placeholder content.
Yeah, the old DX9 stuff.
So once we start getting the final version content of graphics in the game, that'll be absolutely fantastic.
Mm-hmm. I, I wonder if or where else I'd be able to find that the welder grinder thing that Brandon made.
Yeah, I don't
'Cause-
have a copy of it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd just send it over to you.
'Cause I really don't think I've seen a better small welding ship.
He did a really good job on that one, yeah.
Now, what I might end up doing for when I'm building my big ship,
Well, we just need to convince him to get back on here for like a day or two and
yeah.
be like, hey, we need to build like 3 of your welder grinder ships.
Hmm. Actually, I've been trying to work on finishing that spherical ship.
Oh, the one you
To-
started the other day?
Yeah. I cannot figure out how to do the front of it. Oh yeah, when I do have that done, I might just make a large ship welding rig. Because a small ship really wouldn't be very feasible building that large of a ship.
Yeah, that's gonna be a little bit ridiculous. Oh, now see, right here is where I could use the interior lights block on the small ship. That is one thing that should definitely be on small ships, is the interior lights block.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Mike, are you a fan of anime?
Somewhat.
Somewhat? Something you may want to check out. It's a very short series. It's called The Time of Eve.
Okay.
Okay? And what it is a story based in a time where in future Japan, androids have been commonplace, and we're basically using them as tools like our smartphone.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And the implications of just everyday use of very intelligent AI as tools, and the limitations of the 3 laws of robotics and a bunch of stuff like that.
Yeah. Sounds interesting.
And then human interaction with machines kind of deal. So it's got a couple points it hits on pretty hard, and I watched it all on a Saturday afternoon and just fell in love.
Hmm.
And the episodes range from like a 13, 14-minute episode to I think the finale was like a 28 or 34-minute or something like that.
That's not bad.
Yeah. So like it's easily watchable as a single chunk or 2 chunks.
Mm-hmm.
Subtitled only though, no dubs.
Hmm.
Okay, I think I have thrust in all directions. That I do. Okay. Oh, I thought something was glitching out over there, but no, you're actually mining.
Yeah, getting a bit more ice for the hydro tanks on this thing. That's the nice thing, actually, that's the only reason I settled on this asteroid. Well, actually, aside from it being the first one I found.
Other than it being the first one I found, I chose it. For
It's
ice
like
and iron.
perfect starter asteroid.
Mhm.
And actually, I found out later that it has uranium on it and gold, and
Yeah, not bad at all, eh?
considering the first thing I saw was, ooh, ice, ooh, asteroid.
I need to find one with plenty of platinum.
Platinum?
Yeah. For jump drives and gravity generators.
Yeah, actually, I need to go do some mining. I only have like 100 something platinum. I need to get more.
Problem is, it takes so long to refine.
Well, I happen to have 2 refineries. I might actually grind down the area below it and get all the efficiency modules and stuff. That's actually working out to be a really interesting looking little ship.
This unit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure how well it's gonna work, though.
Hmm. Well, with the head so far back?
With the head so far back, with how it's, taller than the actual area of effect of the drills, a few things have got me concerned.
Hmm.
But who knows, it may work out really well.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked a little bit more forward thrust, though. Or, I mean, reverse thrust.
Do you remember your gyroscope?
Yes, I put 2 on. Very early on in the process.
I better not forget this.
Yeah, I've made that mistake too many times. Yeah, that's been a painful mistake quite a few times. It's like, I'm able to go forward, but I can't stop and I can't turn around to slow myself down. Oh crap. Yeah, gyroscopes and reverse thrust. Because, you know, in really cool sci-fi movies, none of the ships have reverse thrust.
Yeah. Oh, do you know anyone that has an older LGA 1155 processor I'd be able to borrow to test a motherboard?
1155. That's the Core 2 Duo generation, right?
Two after that. This is Sandy Bridge and
Oh.
Ivy Bridge.
No, I think I've got an old Core 2 Duo sitting around, but nothing newer than that. After that, I switched over to AMD.
Okay. Yeah, as I purchased a Micro ATX. Actually, I think it might be. I think it is for because I'm gonna do a open no a PFSense box plus a FreeNAS box.
Okay.
And I cannot for the life of me remember where my older 1155 processor is to use on it, and because I don't know if I've been assured by the seller that it works, the motherboard works. I'd rather make sure before I spend like a couple $100 on a 1155 Xeon.
Yeah.
Why is it so bright down here?
Oh, sorry, my lights just came on. Wait, what? The lights should not go that far. Did they increase the distance of lights?
I don't think so.
Because that's like super bright now.
My big ship. Hold on a second, let me...
Because that's like a huge area of effect for those small ship lights.
Oh, yeah, no, that's not my ship. That's not my ship.
So that's my ship.
What? What the hell? How many... Okay, this is weird.
It's just like, and then the sun rose.
That's obscenely bright.
That's a bit much. Like, I know we all wanted further throwing lights, but that is...
Like, you want far throwing lights? Fine, I'll make it blinding.
Radius, 120 meters.
And, wait, I want to see how high I can make my large ship ones.
Let's bring it down to, like, 45 meters.
Spotlight radius, 120.
I like this. This is... Oh. This is gonna make things so nice. Just having lights like that. I hope that's not a bug. Maybe the 120 is a bit ridiculous.
A bit.
But, like, if you left it at... Hey, Keen, if anybody's watching, leave the lights at about, 60 meters. And just have a better fall off.
Oh, somehow my lights turned on.
May thinks I'm part of the same grid because of the landing gear bug. So, it should no longer be affecting you. My stuff.
Okay. Oh.
Yay, it moves!
Okay, I'll be back in 20 minutes.
Okie doke. Yeah, those lights are just a little bit ridiculous. What? Why are my drills not functioning? Those are fully welded. Okay, what if I go to toggle block on off, toggle block on off. So 1. Clicking, oh, there we go. Maybe having the 2 gyroscopes is a bit much for this ship. As long as they take it slow, it looks like this miner might work adequately. Until a freeze, and did stuff break? Nope, stuff didn't break. Yay. Oxygen generator just about full. Oh, is it full? Now it's pretty much full. There we go. I've now got oxygen and stuff. Oh, there's even silver on here. Silver being 70. Okay, gotta be coming around this way. Yeah, keep on coming. Okay. 20 meters in there. Okay, is there an interior to this asteroid then? Gotta be a way into you. Because I don't want to drill 50 meters into this thing. Come on. Yeah, I swear the vehicles are still lighter than they used to be. Okay, well, you know what? Let's see what is over there. Okay, slowly gaining speed, heading towards that asteroid. Is that the ice oxygen generator? Water separator, whatever we want to call it? Must be. Okay, so we're gonna go in here, GPS, and we're gonna get rid of a few things. We're gonna get rid of Mount GTFO. We're gonna get rid of silver and magnesium, because those are not in space. That's the moon base. Okay, let's see, what is over here? So, we found out the other day, or at least Darmok let me know, that the random encounters and pirates are turned on in this server, which I hadn't remembered that I turned on, so we do have some interesting stuff that could happen there. Let's start slowing down from here, and we'll also go into GPS and turn off the moon base. There we go. Slowing down, not as slow as I wanted to. So we'll turn that way. And that would be overloading. And that would be moving pretty close to an asteroid. Yeah, that was a little closer than I expected to come. That's for sure. Okay, we got 4 thrusters pointing that way, so We'll slow down here. Slowly, slowly slow down. Come on. Some large thrusters would do wonders there. Some hydrogen thrusters, that's what I need. Yeah, that reverse thrust is pretty pathetic. Oh, that's so nice now. Look at that. Those lights just light up the whole interior here. We've got uranium and ice. Oh, and magnesium. Okay, GPS. Current. Uranium. Ice. Magnesium. That's nice. Oh, that one looks closer. Let's go see what's over here. So now it's saying that I'm overloading. Which I don't see why I would be overloading, but... Oh well, that's what the game's telling me. Apparently I'm overloading. Okay, and then we'll slowly cruise on over here. Any chance Kyle's out there tonight? You with us, buddy, or no? You're usually more active in chat, so I'm gonna assume Kyle's not with us tonight. Okay, let's start slowing down. Slowly slowing down, that's for sure. Oh, looks like those over there might actually be closer. Oh, hey! Look at that! I've got a welder! Isn't that exciting? Okay. Let's aim this up just a bit more. The belly thruster's actually thrusting? No. Okay. So 25k must be where the view's set at, because the base of Darmok's there just blinked out of existence. Yeah, that should be going under the asteroid, not right into it. I hope, anyway. Love the new spotlights. Thank you, Keen. Thank you so much. So helpful. Man, why did I do that with the ship? It's an ugly bastard. Oh well. Okay, please, 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 asteroid ball here, have platinum and silver. Platinum and silver, what I was that for? I still want to. Oh. Okay. Oh. Looks like I may have found gold. Just a little bit of it. Okay. Gold is good. But we know we've got gold. Ooh, and platinum. Gold and platinum right on the surface. Okay. Let's see, what do you have inside? Gold and platinum on the surface. Looks like we've got at least iron inside, but pretty much everything is iron. Gold, platinum, iron. Yeah. Lots and lots of iron. Ice. So this here. Yeah. I think this is a good mining spot. And silicone. Okay. Oh, silicone on the surface. Yep. Okay. Okay, this is where we're coming. So we got gold, platinum, silicon, and ice. Thank you. Okay. And we want to slowly head back this way, where would be a nice asteroid along the way that we haven't picked up yet. There. Right there. Let's sit here at the old speed limit, because we have our speed limit set to 200 on the server. But if I let it get a little too quick away from me, then I'll be in trouble. So we're 20k away from fuel. But we got platinum, silicon. What does this thing here have? Looks like ice or magnesium and iron. Oh, I guess nickel I have to find as well, don't I? I'm gonna say that's ice. Shit. Oh, that was close. Okay. Well then. Let's not do that again. Okay. Some of these procedural asteroids look pretty great, where it's like ripped apart like this. Okay. So what do we have in here? We got iron over there. We've got magnesium. Iron. And was I right in calling ice? Ice. Anything on this side of the roid? Iron. Okay, lots of iron. We got manganese over here. Okay. GPS. New from current. Magnesium. And ice. Without cap locks. There we go. Okay, and there's the base. Let's hit that asteroid right there. As we slowly head towards the base. Kinda, sorta. Oh, this one actually looks like it's coming up fairly quickly. Yeah, that's coming up quick. That wasn't too far away now, was it? Just a wee chunky guy. Ice, iron, iron. Oh, there's something else over here, so let's go check it out.
Alright, I'm back.
And there's Mike. Well, I've just been scouting out some asteroids. I found one with plenty of platinum and gold on it. It's about 20. Guessing about 30k, 28, 30k away.
Okay. Yes, the platinum asteroids that I have mapped out are 20k and 40k away. I might be heading towards the one you're at.
Well, in between it was a asteroid with uranium, ice, and magnesium on it.
Okay. So that's probably a different one then.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you went in a different direction. I haven't gone in much.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see what's between. Yeah, I went towards the bluish planet, whitish blue planet.
Oh, okay.
And I'm just doing a circle around to a couple asteroids before heading back. I haven't filled up on anything yet, so gonna check out this one, grab whatever resources on it. I'm surprised I haven't found nickel yet. Although magnesium seems very, very plentiful in this universe.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
Come on, slow down. I need to put some hydrogen thrusters on this. Just overshooting everything. Man, I wish I could find a asteroid the same as the one I took on our very first server.
Mm-hmm.
That was my favorite asteroid.
Yeah, yeah.
It was very large, hollow section through the middle, but
Mm-hmm.
it was kind of hidden in shadow, and then there was also the secondary entrance. It was just enough for small ships. I liked that one.
Yeah. Actually, I was quite fond of that asteroid base that we had on the Expanse.
Which one was that?
That was directly after Brandon's server. The one that we had the asteroid base. You guys got attacked. This is in the meantime between I getting my new computer. So this would
Okay.
have been August of this year. You guys got attacked and then left that area with a big fleet, Battlestar Galactica style.
Oh yeah.
Actually, I think that server's still up and running. I dealt with the same map, but
Oh, I found nickel.
hmm.
Silicon, magnesium, and nickel.
Yeah, the only places I've been able to find nickel is 80k away. Oh, hello, platinum.
Nickel is just everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Or not nickel, magnesium. Surprisingly plentiful resource on this server. Well, because we've played a couple servers where it's like, oh, you want magnesium? Hunt for like 200 kilometers.
Yeah. Well, it's nice I don't have to worry about ammo for a while because I got one of those ships that
Oh, that's
had
where you got all your ammo from.
tons of ammunition from. Because really, at this point in the game, I wouldn't have invested that much resources into just ammo for a big ship I don't have.
Okay, well, I'm on my way back. Do you know how to get to the silver on your base?
Silver, I have not. I've gone to a different asteroid for.
Okay. And is that the moon we just came from? Huh. It looks so far away.
Hmm.
User in your channel timed out.
Oh, and there goes Sir Darmok. Of course something always has to happen, eh? There we go. He's coming back now. Ah, internet dead. Don't you love that? Okay, I do not see an entrance on his asteroid. I think it's a solid chunk. Not drifting backwards into anything directly here, eh? Let's see if we can't find that silver on his asteroid. Player just disconnected.
User entered your channel.
Yeah, I'm back.
Hello again. There we go, now I'm picking up resources. A little bit of a delay between when you're in range and your resources actually pop up, eh?
Mhm.
Okay, silver, 73 meters. 60 meters. 50 meters. 40. 50. How close if I go in right in this crevice here? Yeah, I do not have a tunneling machine to make it in 20 meters here. It's only 15 meters from there. 14, 13. Sure, let's try that. So I'm gonna try to get the silver on your asteroid dugout. Yeah, the
Yeah,
new mining isn't quite as smooth, eh?
Mhm.
Oh, looks like I might be able to tunnel just at a constantly downward angle.
Mhm.
Okay, 6 meters away apparently. I think I see it.
Oh, the
Or is
base.
that just shiny rock? No, I'm at the base.
Oh,
The silver
soda.
I'm going in for here.
Oh, okay.
Yep, I found silver.
Well, what the hell? That's a weird bug.
What's this one now?
When you're in a spacesuit, if you go over 180 meters per second, it bumps back down to 150.
Hmm.
Unless I'm just getting some weird lag.
Possible with your internet connection, but that is a weird one. Okay. continue with this silver here. Have you seen if 2 refineries are working at the same time again, or no?
I don't know.
Because
You
the other
can
day we
fire 'em
had
up
that
and see if
issue
they are.
when it wasn't.
I know arc furnaces are working in tandem,
Okay.
but that's the only thing that I've needed to be working in tandem because of the vast quantities of iron.
After you took out a pirate ship, you're like, oh, I don't need to bother with anything else here.
Yeah, basically. Oh, I see your antenna. Wait. The hell?
Should see my antenna. I'm only
I
like 200 meters from you.
I'm at an asteroid.
Oh, you aren't at your base?
No. I'm just trying to locate. Oh no, I guess I do see it. Yeah. I just got really disoriented to where the base was. Let me see if I have my beacon. I don't remember what I called it.
Okay. Drop some more stone in that connector.
Oh, that's weird. Some of my beacon got damaged.
Joys of mining, eh?
Yeah. Or am I blind? Oh no.
We should try turning on cargo ships again and see if it just crashes the server.
Yeah.
Because that would be fun. If nobody else is playing with us, then hey, let's do some cargo ships in that expanse mod with the more aggressive ones.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Nickel. Could you check how much nickel I have there?
Yeah, I should have enough silver here, so we'll head on down there. Or up there, I guess. Whatever. No up or down in space, so I'll head over there to your base and...
Okay. Thanks.
Oh, I'm caught up on something. Oh, the top of my ship was caught there. Okay. Yeah, this thing does not have enough thrust for my taste.
Hmm.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just backing into the connectors here. So
Oh yeah,
as
that's
soon
fine.
as I'm on it, I'll let you know how much nickel you got. Raw or processed, you want to know?
Processed nickel?
Okay. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I turned my connector off, I believe, instead of just turning off the throw out option. Okay. There we go. Locked on. Okay. Inventory, hide empty stuff, and search for nickel. Okay, nickel, you got 8.58, or no, sorry, these are unstacked. Let me stack these up. Oh, come on, stack, you silly nickels. Your nickel's not stacking. Anyway, you got like 14k of refined.
Okay, well, do I have any ore?
Nope.
Okay. How about silver?
I just grabbed a bunch.
Okay.
I grabbed 20k of it. Let's see. Silver. You got 1.45k of silver ingots.
Okay.
And then I've got some ore here, so. Why are none of the refineries working on that? Do you have your refineries turned off?
They shouldn't be.
Okay. Why is it not showing silver in my inventory? Well then. Isn't that interesting? So as soon as I
What happened?
connected, all my mined resources are gone.
Well, that's weird. Are they in arc furnaces?
It's silver, they don't go in arc furnaces.
Hmm.
And when I
Yeah,
search for
the-
silver, there's no silver ore in the thing at all.
Oh, that's weird. I'm making a silver haul right now. I'll come back in a couple minutes.
Okay.
Okay, 66,000 should be good. Just 50,000 platinum.
No, that's a new bug. And that's 2.25 hours on my stream here. I think I'm actually going to take off for now. And I am going to start a step-by-step plan for attacking my new game project. So,
Hmm.
a roadmap. That's what the word I was looking for. I'm going to create a roadmap. And continue work on my scale model of its universe. Quick question for you.
Hmm?
Or actually, I'll do my sign off here first for YouTube. So, this has been Blastertoad. I'll see you on Saturday, and hope to see you in space.